we filming? I swear. I gotta tell you guys why I'm making this video, right? I mean, there's gotta be a purpose if I'm hitting the record button right now. And the reason is sometimes I feel lazy and I don't really feel like working out. And if I don't feel like working out, I'll especially not feel like using a heavier weight. So one thing that motivates me is to film myself. That motivates me to keep a good form and not to get slouchy, grumpy, and indolent. So without further ado, let's get this 50-pounder out and do a few reps of the traditional art known as kettlebells. Now, comrade, to understand kettlebells, one must become like a kettlebell. It's not a tutorial on how to have good form or technique. I'll do that maybe another time, but basic things about form is to keep an aligned structure, keep good integrity in your spine, good alignments, good biomechanics basically. The thing about kettlebells is that there's a lot of physics involved, and pardon me, I'll be right back. I just had something on the stove there. So it's about biomechanics, and it's about really having proper technique, because you can get injured if you don't have to, if your technique is not developed enough or you're using too much weight. So an important thing here is to start slowly, use a small weight and take your time. And the benefits are very good. Whether you're practicing for a sport, for general good health, for martial art, or just for the fun of it, kettlebells are very easy and convenient. I mean, you don't need a lot of equipment. I mean, if you're doing one exercise, you only need maybe 1 to 3 kettlebells max, and you can get a workout done in a very short amount of time. And these are all compound movements. They have to be, because the weight isn't free floating in space. So the great thing is that it engages a lot of stabilizing muscles in the body. So it really works your entire body if you do several exercises. So I'm just going to go through a rotation of some of the basic exercises. So we're going to have the 2-armed swing, the 1-armed swing, the overhead swing, some squats, some rows, different things. And there's a lot of different exercises. You can really pick and choose whichever one you want. You can do as many repetitions as you want. There are really no rules in this, as long as you don't do anything like completely stupid. But there are a lot of guides online on pre-made routines and how many reps you can schedule it as. You can do it as a kind of circuit thing where you do several exercises in a row and you get your cardiovascular system working, or you can do less reps with more weight. Same principles as in standard strength and conditioning apply here. There's nothing magical about this. It's just like a little bit of a different modality, and it adds sort of plyometric element to weightlifting, which I think is really fun. So there's really an explosive element that's involved here that's important. So there's a kinetic movement, there's a kinetic chain through this. So your body goes through an adaptation phase where it learns how to optimize the movement, and you'll get this down through practice. So each time you're going to practice and do these repetitions, you're going to get better and better. Hence the point of practicing. It's a lot like playing golf, except the golf ball weighs 50 pounds and you swing it around. So actually, it's not a lot like playing golf, but it kind of is. Just watch. See if you can see the same principle as behind a swing, only this time instead of swinging forward, you're leveraging the weight upwards. So you're starting excuse me, your kinetic chain of momentum from the ground up through the feet and into your center of gravity, which is in your lower abdomen here. What they call in martial arts, the hara in Japanese, or the lower dantian in traditional Chinese anatomy. So it's just basic physical center of gravity. Now watch how the torque works. So you can just follow that chain of momentum and use whatever muscles are necessary to get it up with the maximum amount of explosiveness and power and the least amount of strain. So you're not forcing it, you're just sort of letting it happen, which is kind of paradoxical because it's a fucking iron weight. But see if you get the gist of what I mean here. And you can do rows. Just get a chair here. Very simple rows. Use any kind of weight. You can use your arm if you want. You don't have to use a prop. Other side. Now you can do squats with this, and there are many ways to hold the kettlebell. Standard way of holding it is just in front of your body. You can, I guess, hold it, whichever way you want. If you want to get, crazy and exotic, you can hold it on your head. Don't use too much weight. You can hold it back of your head. Explore this. Just remember, don't do anything really stupid. A little stupid for experimentation is okay, but really keep that stupid meter reasonable in any endeavor that requires heavy weights. So we're going to do some standard squats. Obviously you can use any kind of stance. You can use a very short, narrow stance or a wider stance like sumo. It's up to you. Upright rows. And we're going to finish this with a little exercise called a Turkish get-up, which I think is very fun to do. It's a complex movement. It has different components to it. And it starts in the lying down position on the ground. And the idea is very simply to get into the standing position with the kettlebell on top of your head, with the arm overhead. And the bottom starting position is on your back with the kettlebell by your side. So you have to figure out a complex chain of movement to get from point A to point B. And there are several guidelines to this, but if you start slowly, you will figure it out intuitively on your own. There's no one correct way to do this, as long as you maintain good form and integrity, and you will know. For example, if you're out of alignment, you'll know. If you're paying attention, your body will respond to that, and you'll know how to correct in the right manner. So I'm now on the ground in a lying down position. You can't see, but now I go into the intermediary phase where I push the kettlebell up. I get my body about halfway through up. So now I'm on one hand and on my feet, and now I'm going to push myself up, stand up, in whichever way is natural. That's one repetition. Put it back down. Two. The other side. Two. Alrighty, so there you have a quick little kettlebell routine. Those are only just a small selection of exercises out of many that you can do with kettlebells. So go online and find out more information and get on it. Stay sharp, stay good, stay alive until you die. In that case, die and die well. But while you're alive, be well, be happy, and stay good.